Good morning and thank you for joining us on Yoga Dharma TV. My name's Fran and I'll be using my wonderful student Veronica this morning. We're going to be working with a very simple routine working with seated postures, okay? But I would like you to use blocks or bolsters. So that could be a real bolster or it could be your cushions that you have around your house. Pillows will do. It could be books, okay? Whatever you have, just to place underneath your bottom and underneath your knees, okay? So we'll be looking at some simple breathing practices with this and using the pelvic floor and the lower belly. This routine's particularly good for working with people that are anxious. It also will help you with your gut a little. It's great for back problems as long as you do use your blocks and props. It's also useful if you have a friend to work with because they can work behind your back, so they can sit behind you whilst you're doing your routine to stop you from cheating. Okay, I hope you enjoy this routine. It's very simple. It's only 15 minutes long. This is ideal actually to use at night, not just in the mornings. So if you're feeling anxious at night before you get a little bit worried before you go to sleep, things are whirring around your head, use this routine and you should sleep really soundly. Good morning, Veronica, and thank you for joining us once more today. So this morning we are going to be looking at a very simple seated routine, and you can add this to your standing sequence that you've been looking at last week. So this is aimed again at anybody that maybe they're suffering a little bit from rheumatism, back problems, you may be suffering from problems with the gut. The seated forward folds are very, very good for working the gut, and they're also very good if you're suffering from anxiety to calm your body down. Okay, so Veronica's going to be mainly working with props today. We will show a couple of the postures without props. However, I strongly suggest when you first start that you do use props, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on your props. You can be using, as I often say, you can be using books for blocks, or you could be using your cushions you have at home for bolsters. So there's no need to spend a load of money on your yoga props. So I'm going to ask Veronica just to get one block for the moment and just place that first block underneath your sit bones, please, Veronica. So she's just going to sit right on the edge of the block, her sit bones just on top of the block, and then I'd ask her to reach around very carefully towards her bolster. If you're at home, maybe you want the bolster to the side of you, and she's just going to place her bolster underneath her knees. Now, I suggest if you're at home and you're new to yoga that you might try this first of all with maybe a friend just sat behind you so that you can keep your back nice and flat, okay? But it's perfectly fine to practice as you are. It just gives you an indication of how you're seated. So I'm going to ask Veronica to place her hands just either side of her hips, okay? And we can see her waist now, okay? And just ask her just to almost lift her sit bones off the block very slightly, so she's so light on that block, and then just place the sit bones back down again. Okay, I'm now going to ask her to take her awareness to her pelvic floor and activate the pelvic floor. And as I said to you before in previous videos, that's as though you're holding a wee on a long journey, to put it very simply. We're going to ask her now to lift her lower belly, so that's almost as though she's zipping up the front of her belly, and roll her elbows back towards the back of the room, because Veronica has rather long arms. Now some of you may have shorter arms and you may require blocks or books to place underneath your hands as well. Okay, so I'm going to ask her now to try and just drop her rib cage very slightly and take her awareness to the breath. Just breathing simply in and out through the nose. lifting the corners of her mouth very slightly so she releases the glottis. And the gaze is down towards the tip of the nose. The back of the neck is long, the chin tucked in, the crown of the head heading towards the ceiling. Once more, as though a piece of your hair was being just lifted gently over the ceiling. And we're just going to hold that position. This position is called Dandasana or stick pose. So I would like Veronica just to work her feet towards one another, her big toes towards one another. Start to activate the inside of the legs and the thighs. And once more have that feeling of lifting up away from the block. Hold that for a few more breaths, starting to just lift up out of the hips. And then exhale, relax. So let everything drop a little bit, Veronica, for a moment or two, just so you can relax. Okay, so keep the left leg over the top of the bolster. Okay, just slide the bolster across so that the bolster's just underneath that left knee. Okay, now bending the right knee. Okay, and placing the right hand on top of the right knee. Take a nice deep in-breath. And as you exhale, just start to revolve to look over that right shoulder. Breathe in and come back to center. And as you exhale, just start to revolve to look over the left shoulder. Breathe in and come back to center. So depending on how you're feeling today, or Veronica's feeling today, we can see if we can bring that knee back just a fraction closer towards our torso. Okay, if you're feeling any discomfort in the knee or the back or the hip, just stay at the previous posture. A nice deep in-breath, lift the pelvic floor, and as you exhale, revolving very slowly and carefully to look over that right shoulder. So you can see that she's not turning, it's the torso that's turning, not her neck. Breathing and coming back to center. And as you exhale, turning very carefully and slowly to look over the left shoulder. And then breathing in, coming back to center. Well done, Veronica. Release that leg and we'll just swap sides. So we'll slide the bolster across underneath the right knee and draw that left leg in towards us. Okay? So we'll repeat that again. So just placing now the left hand on top of the left knee, right hand down, nice deep in breath, and as you exhale, starting to rotate to look over the left shoulder. Keep the abdomen strong, pelvic floor lifted, and breathe in and come back to center. And as you exhale, start to rotate to look over the right shoulder, and you can see she's keeping her neck really nice and steady. Perfect posture. And then breathing in, coming back to center. This side could feel very different for you, so you might have to repeat that again, or draw that knee in just that little bit closer. Okay, and again, left hand on the knee, nice deep in breath, pulling up the pelvic floor, exhaling, looking over the left shoulder, and then breathing in, coming back to center, and exhale, turning to revolve to look over the right shoulder, and then breathing in, coming back to center, and we just gently slide that bolster across, and we place the bolster underneath the left knee. Okay, so this time, as long as your leg's feeling okay, we're going to draw that right knee in towards us. Place the right foot towards the inside of the left thigh and just allow that leg to drop out to the side. Now if you're feeling a little bit tight, you can reach towards your other block and just place your other block underneath your your right knee. Okay, so that's a nice easy posture. We're just going to hold that for a few moments. Nice deep breathing. And now breathe in and just draw the right hand up towards the ceiling. And exhale, reach that right hand over towards the left toes. Now you might only reach the knee, you may only reach the shin. Keep holding that posture, lifting the tummy, keeping the chest nice and open. And then breathe in, draw the hand back up to centre. And exhale, release the hand back down by your side. We're going to repeat that one more time. And this time, if it feels appropriate, we're going to bring the left hand to join it. So breathing in, raising the right hand up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, reach forward towards the left toes. Keep your tummy muscles drawn in, pelvic floor lifted. And if it feels appropriate, we're going to reach the left hand towards those toes. And remember, that could be the shin or towards the knee. And we can view Veronica's back. It's perfectly straight. Her neck is in line with the rest of the spine. So she's holding attention on her toes. And then we release the left hand as we breathe in. Take a resting exhale. And then breathe in, draw the body back to centre. And then release the block slowly and swap sides. So just taking the block over towards the left, sliding the bolster over towards the right knee. And then we'll gently draw that left foot in towards the right thigh, placing the the block underneath the knee if necessary for you. So she's keeping her feet nice and open. Just taking a resting breath here. And then breathing in and drawing that left hand up. And exhale, reaching forward towards the toes, keeping her back nice and flat. Take an in-breath and activate the pelvic floor. And exhale, really take the gaze towards those big toes. We're going to breathe in and slowly come back to centre now. And now we're going to see if we can bring the right hand to join it. So breathing in, raising the left hand again, and exhale, folding forward. Witnessing what the body's feeling like today. And with your next in-breath, you can, if you feel good, bring the right hand to join it. Back remains absolutely flat. The arches of your feet are active, the thighs are active, the abdomen's drawn in, the pelvic floor's alive. The gaze is towards the toes. With your next in-breath, you're going to draw the right hand back. Take a resting exhale. And then with your next inhalation, you're going to draw the left hand back to join it. And releasing slowly now the block from underneath the left knee and placing the bolster underneath both knees. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Veronica, if she doesn't mind, to take the block between both hands. And she's going to breathe in and draw the block up and overhead. So she's going to keep that block absolutely directly above her head as she exhales, folds forward from the hips. And that gives Veronica a really good indication of where she's at today. If she can fold fully forward or if she needs to stay exactly where she is. Breathe in and come all the way back to centre, Veronica. And we'll repeat that one more time. Breathe in, push the block up towards the ceiling, open up the rib cage, and exhale, just fold forward, keeping the block directly over your head. No cheating. Breathing underneath the armpits. Breathing in, coming all the way back up to centre. And then exhale, release the block down towards the thighs and place the block once more down onto the floor. Okay, so she's going to keep her hands on her hips this time. Take an in-breath. She's going to keep that same integrity in the spine. Inhale, pelvic floor. Exhale, lower belly, folding forward from the hips and imagining that block over the top of her head. And now she's going to reach her hands forward towards her feet. So it could end up on the shins. Veronica's got long arms, so it will end up on the toes. Breathe in, lift the chest, and then exhale, just pull on the toes a little. And she may go a little further without ruining the integrity in the back. The abdomen's strong, pelvic floor's lifted, the inside of the legs are active, the front of the thighs are active. Breathe in and come back to centre. Slowly releasing the hands down by your sides. And now just walk your fingertips back so they're level with the back of the block. So your fingertips are level with the back of the block. If you can, press the hands into the floor. Breathe in and just lift the front of the chest. And as long as you've got no problems in your neck, you can take your head back just a little. If you've got problems in your neck, just keep your chin forward. And this will just reverse all the postures that we've just been working with. Really nice deep breathing. And holding that, Veronica, now if you wish, you can point your toes and just release any tension out of the front of the ankles, the knees and the shins. And then breathing in, coming back to centre. Release that posture and you can relax. Thank you very much, Veronica, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed that routine. Thank you so much to Veronica. That was a wonderful sequence. And I know she finds that quite hard work. Okay? You might find it a little bit tough at first, but those thighs will tone up and it will really help you sleep. So make sure that when you finish your routine, you have a little drink of water, even if it's before you're going to bed, because it can dehydrate you, okay? Make sure also that you just lie down once you've finished. Lie in Shavasana, just allow the body to assimilate the work you've done. My name once again is Fran. I hope to see you soon, okay? And join us once again on Yoga Dharma TV, and don't forget to subscribe.